Hello everyone, today I bring you this VEX 123 robot. It is a very nice way to introduce robotics and computer science to our first and second graders. So you can see that the top right here is what you would call your touch programming. So this right here is the touch screen. The students will press their commands. And then we got two wheels in the bottom, and we have these two sensors, one right here and then another one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to some very simple items that this 123 robot has to offer. I also have with me here a VEX tile here. We got a 3x3 map, if you will, and we have our robot. So what I meant by touch programming is that the students will go ahead and press these buttons right here, and they'll go ahead and be the commands that the robot needs to go ahead and follow. So let me go over them with you real quick. So this blue button right here is going to go ahead and get our robot to turn 90 degrees. So you can see right here that there is a white arrow. So by pressing this button, the robot will go ahead and rotate to the left 90 degrees. And you can see now that the robot is now facing this direction. If we go ahead and press this button right here, that is the forward button. So wherever the robot is pointing towards, it will go ahead and go 1 unit. And by what I mean by 1 unit is this distance from here to here. So it would be pressing it once, go ahead and make the robot go that way. If we go ahead and press this purple button, then it's going to go ahead and rotate 90 degrees. So you can see our white arrow will go ahead and rotate 90 degrees. And then the last button right here that we have is the sound button. So if you go ahead and press this, when it gets to that command, it would go ahead and make a honk noise. It's pretty neat. And then if you want to run all the code that you just did, you go ahead and press the center button and it'll glow so you can see that it is on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make a very simple command here, a simple code that will get our robot right here. So we can already foreshadow that our robot will start right here, and it's going to have to move forward 2 times, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and model that for you. First, I do need to turn on the robot. So to turn it on, you just need contact that these wheels need to go ahead and turn. So very simple to do. So you can get it on a table and you can go ahead and roll it, and you'll see noise, and you hear a noise, and you will see the light right here. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my arrow is pointing to that direction, and I want this robot to go forward 1 time, go forward another time right here. So I'm going to go ahead and program that. So I'm going to go forward. Okay, you can see the light changed, and then you can go forward again. And now I'm going to run the code by pressing this button right here. Whoops, press it a little harder. There you go. So go forward and forward. You hear a nice little completion. So if you do happen to make a typo on the code, it's perfectly fine. All you have to do is shake this, and this will pretty much erase it. Okay, so let's go ahead and make ourselves a little bit more difficult challenge. So let's say I wanted to get my robot, so also start right here, but go ahead and make a little path to get to this, and to celebrate, we'll add a honk there. So let me show you what this would be. So I want the robot to go forward, then I want the robot to turn right 90 degrees, then I want to go forward again, and I want it to finish here. So I'm going to turn 90 degrees to the right again, and then go forward, and then to celebrate, we're going to do a little honk right here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try that. So I'm going to shake it, make sure there's no code currently on there, and I'm going to go ahead and try this right here. So I'm facing forward. So as we agreed, we're going to go forward right here. Now I'm here, then I need to turn to the right. So I'm going to press this button. Now that I'm facing to the right, I need to go forward. So I'm going to go forward and forward, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn right again, and then I want to land right here. So I'm going to go ahead and face forward, and then to celebrate, I'm going to honk. Okay, let's go ahead and test the code. And if it doesn't work, we just erase it and try it again. So as you can see, it's working pretty neat. It is super awesome. You can see the honk right there. Well, this was the VEX 123 robot. Super neat. It's very durable. Very nice plastic here for the first and second graders. And you can see some sensors here, but I'll definitely make more videos in the future about this. That is pretty cool. Oh, I do want to mention that there is this coder here that you can also program, and it comes with little slits, so we'll talk about that later. And you also have access to the VEX VR code as well that you can go ahead and program with pretty much your block code that you can see that our middle schools and our high school students will be using. But pretty neat stuff. You can find more in VEX Robotics. Thank you. Bye.